In this tutorial, I'm going to give you a brief overview of the Google interface. So let's take a look. If you start on the upper left-hand side, once you've logged into Gmail, you'll see a mail icon. And if you click the downward arrow next to the mail icon, you'll see some options. You'll see contacts. This is where you can add contacts to your mail. If you click on this little person with a plus sign next to them, you can type in a email address of somebody or a name, and then you can add them to your contact list. You can also click the more drop down arrow, and you can import your contacts, export them, and do various other settings as well. If we click the contacts downward arrow or icon, you can also see tasks. Tasks are basically like a digital notepad. You can take your to-do list, and you can just type in whatever you need to get done. Send out an email, and then that task is created, and you just click anywhere else, and you can add more. You can set actions for your task. You can mark them as view completed task. You can do all sorts of settings. You can delete them, rename them. You can minimize this, but this will live within your Gmail, and you can pop it out anytime to look at it. Very handy little notepad tool. If you go back to the contacts, drop down arrow, you can go back to mail. We're now back in the mail interface. Right now I only have one email in my inbox, but if I were to click on it, you'll see a new toolbar appears above. And in this toolbar you have options. You can archive this email, you can report it as spam, you can delete it, you can move it to another folder, or specifically in Gmail they don't use folders, they use something called labels. So you can actually create labels, you can give them your own name, and an email can be assigned to multiple emails or multiple labels. And it's a great way to make it easier to search for emails as you start to get more and more of them. If you click the more option, you can mark things as unread, mark them as important, add to the task, so you can automatically create a task from an email. You can create an event from an email, and you can filter these messages. If you don't want them to specifically go into your main inbox, you can have them go to another label that you've created specifically for those types of emails. At any point in time, there's two ways to reply. You can click over here on the upper right hand side. You can click the reply button, or you can click the drop down arrow and decide on other options that you need to do. If you want to print them, add it to a Google Plus contact list, and show the original message, things like that. You can also just go down to the bottom of the email, and there's a reply and forward option here as well. In your upper right hand side, you'll have your Google Plus account. If you click on that, you can set up a profile. Google Plus is kind of like the equivalent of Facebook meets LinkedIn. It's a little more professional, but it's social media sharing tool that's integrated into Google App Suite. If you want to get to other Google apps, you click on this little grid box here, and you'll see a bunch of Google apps, and then you can click the More tab to get additional ones, or you can search the marketplace for more of them. To get out of it, just click outside the box. Let's click back on the grid. Then you can access your Google Drive, Google Search, Calendar, Sites, Google Plus, Groups, Contacts. So there are many ways to get to the same thing. If there's any big notifications in terms of from Gmail or the other things going on, they'll usually pop up here. They're important reminders. You can share. If you click the share button at any time, you can create an event and share it with people, or you can share pictures. Basically, Google's all about sharing and incorporating stuff. If you don't have a profile set up, you can set up a profile picture. If you click on the little person in the circle here, you can click on the account, and in here you can add a photo, you can edit your profile, and this is also will appear on your Google Plus account, which is, they're all tied together, so just be aware of that. You can add if you have multiple accounts, and this is also where you sign out if you ever want to sign out. So we'll close this and we'll go back to main Gmail interface. You can also print emails by, you could always right click on your screen and just select print, but I find that a lot of times Printing an email will be in the right format, so it's best to use the print icon that's built into Gmail up here in the upper hand right corner, or you can click the drop down and select print from here as well. In addition to some other tools that are integrated into Gmail's interface, if you have people in your contact list, down here you would have an option to do a search for the person, and if they have a webcam and other things, certain things will pop up. You can do what's called a Hangout or Hangouts, and it's a video chat. You can, if you click on the video chat, it'll open up, and you can invite someone to do a video conference, which is kind of neat. And there's my video conference. You can also just manually chat with people, and if you have a Google phone number, you can set up, you can just call them using your Google phone number, which is kind of neat. To compose an email, you just click compose. You can pop this out if you want a bigger screen for when you're writing your emails. You can pop it back in by clicking these two arrows that are facing each other. If you haven't done that before, the first time you log into Gmail, Google will give you some hints or prompts, and you can close those at any time. To type to who you're sending it to, you can click on CC or blind copy, and then you can add attachments. You can change your formatting. You can pull files in from your Google Drive. You can insert photos from your Google Plus account. You can add a calendar event invitation for an event. You can trash this email or make it a draft. And finally, part of the Google Gmail, if you want to access the settings, you just click on the little gear icon over here. And they have some display density, which is basically if you're on a laptop or a big PC with a big giant monitor, there's different settings that will kind of customize the screen for you to make it fit or feel better in terms of how it's displayed. I usually just leave mine uncomfortable. You can configure your inbox. You can get to your settings by clicking on settings, and then you can get into real depth in terms of what your setting options are for Gmail. You can go into the basic general settings. You can have your signature down here. This is where you access it in the main general area. Your vacation responders here as well. If you click on labels, you can manage those better and change them. You can go into your inbox settings. You have account settings, filters. You can build up custom filters, as I mentioned earlier, for emails that you necessarily do not want to be showing up in your inbox, but maybe under a specific label that you'll check back later. Part of Gmail is trying to understand how to be more efficient with email, and sometimes if you get hundreds of emails a day or whatever, you can feel bombarded by all that, so it's better to set up these filters. You can set up forwarding, you can set up your chat functionality, enable it, turn it off. Labs are like custom tools, third-party stuff that people have made to improve Gmail or add a functionality that you didn't already have, worth exploring. And themes is just the kind of look and feel of your Gmail. You can keep it generic, or you can add some themes to give it to spruce it up and give it a better look and feel. So that is my brief overview of the Gmail interface. Thanks for watching.